In this video, we will explore a simple yet remarkably effective 5-second test that can help you identify a narcissist. You will learn how to apply this test in everyday situations, understand the psychological principles that make it so powerful, and gain the clarity you need to protect yourself from manipulation and emotional harm. By the end of our time together, you will have a practical tool to see behind the charming facade that narcissists so often present, and you will be better equipped to cultivate healthier relationships. I'm Dr. Eleanor Whitmore, a clinical psychologist with over 30 years of experience in helping people understand and navigate complex personality dynamics. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation with someone and felt a subtle sense of unease, a feeling that something is just not quite right? Perhaps you have been in a relationship where you constantly feel drained, as if your own needs and feelings are consistently being overlooked. Or maybe you have a colleague or a family member who seems to be the center of their own universe, someone who is always demanding your attention and admiration. If any of these scenarios sound familiar, you may have encountered a narcissist. Narcissism, in its clinical sense, is not just about vanity or self-absorption. It is a complex personality pattern characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a deep-seated need for excessive admiration, and a profound lack of empathy for others. These individuals often present a charismatic and confident exterior, which can make them very difficult to identify at first. They can be charming, successful, and engaging, drawing you into their world with promises of excitement and grand gestures. However, beneath this polished surface lies a fragile ego that is constantly seeking validation and a disregard for the feelings and needs of those around them. The term narcissist is used quite frequently in popular culture, but it is important to understand that narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is a recognized mental health condition. While not everyone who exhibits narcissistic traits has full-blown NPD, understanding these traits is crucial for navigating relationships with such individuals. The 5-second test we are about to discuss is a powerful tool because it cuts through the narcissist's carefully constructed facade and exposes the underlying dynamics of their personality. It is not a clinical diagnosis, of course, but it is a practical way to gauge the health of a relationship and to see how someone responds when their desire for control and attention is challenged. The test is based on a simple premise. A narcissist's primary motivation is to secure what is known as narcissistic supply. This is not a physical substance, but rather a psychological one. It is the attention, admiration, and validation that they so desperately crave. They need a constant stream of it to maintain their inflated sense of self-worth and to keep their deep-seated insecurities at bay. When you deny them this supply, even in a small and seemingly insignificant way, their true colors will often reveal themselves. The 5-second test is all about creating a small, controlled moment where you do just that. You set a boundary, you say no to a request, or you simply refuse to engage in their drama, and then you observe their reaction for 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you will see a shift. A healthy, well-adjusted individual will respect your boundary. They may be disappointed, but they will accept your no and move on. A narcissist, on the other hand, will not. Their charming mask will slip, and you will see a flash of anger, a hint of manipulation, or a desperate attempt to regain control. This is the moment of truth, the moment that exposes the narcissist. Let's break down how to apply this test in different areas of your life. The first area is your time. Narcissists are masters at monopolizing your time. They will call you at inconvenient hours, expect you to drop everything to attend to their needs, and become resentful if you have other commitments. They see your time as their own, a resource to be used for their benefit. And to apply the 5-second test, you need to set a clear boundary around your time. Let's say a friend who you suspect has narcissistic traits calls you in the middle of a busy workday and wants to talk for an hour about their latest drama. Instead of giving in, you can say in a calm and friendly tone, "I'm in the middle of something right now, but I can talk for 5 minutes." Then you start your mental 5-second timer. A healthy friend might say, "Oh, okay, no problem. Let's talk later then." They respect your time and your work. A narcissist, however, will likely react very differently. You might hear a sigh of frustration, a guilt-tripping comment like, "I thought you were my friend," or an attempt to bargain with you, "Just 10 more minutes, I really need to talk to you." They are not respecting your boundary, they are trying to push past it to get what they want. Another example could be a family gathering. A narcissistic family member might expect you to spend the entire day with them, ignoring your other plans or obligations. You could say, "I'm so glad we could spend the morning together. I have to leave at 2 p.m. for another appointment." A healthy family member would understand and appreciate the time you did spend with them. A narcissist might become sullen, make passive-aggressive comments about your other commitments, or even try to create a scene to make you stay. The second area is your attention. Narcissists need to be the center of attention at all times. They will interrupt conversations, dominate discussions, and become agitated if the focus shifts to someone else. They crave an audience, and they will do whatever it takes to keep all eyes on them. To apply the 5-second test in this context, you can gently redirect the conversation. Imagine you are in a group setting and the suspected narcissist has been talking about themselves for 20 minutes straight. You can wait for a brief pause and then say, "That's really interesting. I'd love to hear what Jane thinks about this." And then you watch. A healthy person will welcome the opportunity for someone else to speak. They will be happy to share the spotlight. A narcissist, on the other hand, will likely show their displeasure. They might interrupt Jane as soon as she starts talking, try to bring the conversation back to themselves, or even make a subtle dig at you for changing the subject. Their face might show a flicker of annoyance before they quickly recompose themselves. Another way to test this is to simply not give them your undivided attention. If you are on your phone or reading a book when they enter the room, continue what you are doing for a few moments. A healthy person will wait patiently or find something else to do. A narcissist will often become visibly irritated. They might clear their throat loudly, ask you a pointed question to get your attention, or even physically move to put themselves in your line of sight. The third area is your energy. Narcissists are emotional vampires. They will drain you of your energy with their constant drama, their never-ending crises, and their insatiable need for emotional support. They will create problems and then expect you to solve them. They will have emotional outbursts and then expect you to soothe them. To apply the 5-second test here, you need to refuse to engage in their emotional drama. Let's say a family member who you suspect is a narcissist is having a tantrum because something did not go their way. Instead of trying to calm them down or getting drawn into their anger, you can say in a neutral and detached tone, "I can see that you are upset. I am going to give you some space to process your feelings." Then you wait. A healthy person, even when upset, will eventually appreciate your respect for their emotional state. A narcissist, however, will likely escalate their tantrum. They might accuse you of not caring, try to make you feel guilty for not helping them, or even become more aggressive in their attempts to get a reaction from you. They are not looking for a solution, they are looking for an emotional reaction for your energy. Another example is when a narcissist tries to bait you into an argument. They will make a provocative statement or a false accusation, hoping to get a rise out of you. Instead of taking the bait, you can simply say, I'm not going to argue with you about this. A healthy person might be frustrated, but they will eventually respect your decision to not engage in conflict. A narcissist will often become even more provocative, trying to push your buttons until you finally snap. The fourth area is your resources. Narcissists often feel entitled to your money, your possessions, and your connections. They will borrow money and never pay it back, use your things without asking, and expect you to use your influence to help them. To apply the 5-second test in this area, you need to set a clear boundary around your resources. If a friend who you suspect is a narcissist asks to borrow money, you can say, "I'm not able to lend you any money right now." A healthy friend will understand and respect your financial boundaries. A narcissist might become angry, accuse you of being selfish, or try to make you feel guilty for not helping them in their time of need. They might even try to turn other people against you by telling them that you are ungenerous. The beauty of the 5-second test is its simplicity. It does not require a lengthy confrontation or a dramatic showdown. It is a small, subtle action that can give you a wealth of information. It is about observing the immediate, unfiltered reaction of the other person. A narcissist's reaction is often so quick and so telling because you are directly challenging their sense of entitlement and their belief that they are the center of the universe. You are, in a very small way, saying, "Your needs are not more important than mine." This is a message that a narcissist simply cannot tolerate. Their entire sense of self is built on the belief that they are superior, and any challenge to that belief is a threat to their very identity. So, what are some of the specific reactions you should look for in those 5 seconds? The most common reaction is a sudden shift in their demeanor. The charming, friendly person you were just talking to will disappear, and you will see a cold, hard look in their eyes. Their smile will vanish, and their body language will become tense. This is often referred to as the narcissistic stare, a look of pure, unadulterated rage that can be quite unsettling. Another common reaction is an attempt to manipulate you. They might try to make you feel guilty by saying things like, "I do so much for you, and you can't even do this one small thing for me." They might try to flatter you by saying, "You're the only one who can help me with this." Or they might try to gaslight you by saying, "You're being too sensitive," or "You're overreacting." Gaslighting is a particularly insidious form of manipulation where the narcissist tries to make you doubt your own perceptions and your own sanity. They will deny that they said or did something, even when you have clear evidence to the contrary. They will twist your words and use them against you, and they will make you feel like you are the one who is crazy. A third reaction is an escalation of their demands. If you say no to a small request, they will often come back with a bigger one. If you refuse to give them your attention, they will create a bigger drama to get it. They are like a child who throws a tantrum when they do not get what they want. They will keep pushing and pushing until you finally give in. It is important to remember that the 5-second test is not about provoking a fight or being confrontational. It is about gathering information. It is about seeing what is behind the mask. And once you have that information, you can make a more informed decision about how to proceed in the relationship. If you consistently see these negative reactions when you set boundaries, it is a strong indication that you are dealing with a narcissist. And at that point, you have a choice to make. And you can continue to engage with them and be subjected to their manipulation and their drama, or you can choose to disengage and protect your own well-being. Disengaging from a narcissist can be a difficult and painful process, especially if they are a close family member or a long-term partner. They will not let you go easily. They will try to hoover you back in with promises of change and grand gestures of affection. They will try to triangulate you by involving other people in your conflict. And they will try to smear your reputation by spreading lies and rumors about you. But it is important to remember that you have a right to be treated with respect and consideration. You have a right to your own time, your own attention, and your own energy. And you have a right to be in relationships that are healthy, supportive, and reciprocal. The 5-second test is a small but powerful step on the path to reclaiming your power and your self-worth. It is a way to see the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. And it is a way to start building a life that is free from the toxic influence of narcissism. In my practice, I have seen countless individuals who have been trapped in narcissistic relationships for years, even decades. They often come to me feeling confused, exhausted, and full of self-doubt. They have been so thoroughly manipulated and gaslighted that they no longer trust their own judgment. The 5-second test can be a turning point for them. It is a simple, concrete action that they can take to see the reality of their situation, and once they see it, they can no longer unsee it. It is the first step towards breaking free, so I encourage you to try it. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel like your boundaries are being pushed, take a deep breath, set a clear and friendly boundary, and then watch. Watch for the shift in their eyes, the change in their tone, the subtle signs of their displeasure. In those 5 seconds, you will learn everything you need to know, and you will be one step closer to a life of freedom and authenticity. After you have identified a narcissist in your life, it is important to focus on your own healing and well-being. Dealing with a narcissist can take a significant toll on your mental and emotional health. You may feel anxious, depressed, or even traumatized. It is crucial to be patient and compassionate with yourself as you recover. One of the most important things you can do is to reconnect with your own needs and feelings. Narcissists have a way of making you forget about yourself. You may have spent so much time and energy catering to their needs that you have lost touch with your own. Take some time to reflect on what you want and what you need. What are your passions? What are your goals? What makes you happy? Another important step is to rebuild your support system. Narcissists often isolate their victims from their friends and family. Reach out to the people who love and support you. Let them know what you have been through and allow them to help you. You may also want to consider seeking professional help. A therapist who is experienced in dealing with narcissistic abuse can provide you with the tools and support you need to heal. They can help you to understand the dynamics of the relationship, to process your emotions, and to develop healthy coping mechanisms. Finally, it is important to remember that you are not alone. There are many people who have been through similar experiences. Connecting with others who have been through narcissistic abuse can be incredibly validating and empowering. There are many online and in-person support groups where you can share your story and learn from others. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days, but with time, patience, and support, you can and will recover. You can reclaim your life, your power, and your sense of self. You can build a future that is filled with healthy, loving, and reciprocal relationships. In our next video, we will explore the different types of narcissists, from the classic grandiose narcissist to the more covert and vulnerable narcissist. Understanding these different subtypes can help you to better identify and protect yourself from their specific brand of manipulation. We hope you will join us.